Hello ladies and gentlemen, Vasil at Built for Speed here, and today we're working on 2008 Scion XD. This guy right here, and today we're going to be doing rotors and pads in the front. I found a great deal on eBay, I believe, of slotted and drilled rotors just like these. You can see they're awesome. They're probably, I paid for the whole set, and then the ceramic pads I paid for the whole set cheaper than I would get just one rotor, I think, locally. So I think it's like 65 bucks or something like that. So very good deal. So today I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Take the wheels off, and then what's necessary to, what needs to be taken off, and how to take it off in order for the brake kit. Stay tuned. Okay, so over here for the caliper bracket, it's a 17 millimeter. Just got 17 millimeter 6-point to get the caliper bracket off on the back, to remove this right here, this part. And over here it's 14, the bolt. So we're gonna remove this nut right here, or the bolt, to be able to open up the caliper right here, take the pads out and compress the piston. And then that one is we're gonna have to take off to take the rotor off, because we can flip this one to change the pads, but if you need to change the rotor also, you need to take the bracket off. So we're just gonna pull those two screw bolts. There's one here and one on the bottom. You will see it's holding this bracket together. So we're gonna take those two bolts out and then take this one out, so we can compress the piston and change the pads. And I'm gonna use this tool here to compress the piston. Okay, so you can see I got this one off right here. You don't really want to hang it like this, but if you carefully hang it and you don't yank it, it should be fine. But you can see I opened it up. That's the bracket. So that way now I'm gonna put the tool in. Let me see carefully. So I'm gonna do this, put this in there just like this. Something like it's a lot easier to do it with two hands, of course. Just like that. Perfect. Now it's all compressed. So now I can take it out, put the pads in there, and then I'll show you guys where I lubricate on the pads. These are the pads. You usually want to lubricate where the piston sits, and then where it slides, where your pads slide right here, so they don't make noises. And so where there's contact points pretty much on the pad. That's the old pads. I think they were getting pretty close to being worn. This one's a little worse than the other one, but yeah. Okay, so I lubricate, you see the sliders right on the edges there, the back, and then kind of this slider. That's all I did, a lubrication, and I just inserted it into the bracket. Okay, and then I slide these pins out. You pull them out, just the metal, pull them out of the rubber. Do not pull the rubber, because you will rip it. And then when you put it back in, just kind of push it until it snaps back in. But on these ones, I realized that you need to take the bottom bolt off, not the top one. If you want to do just the pads, you just pull this bolt off and then flip it up, because the brake lane is here. So when you try to pull it this way, it puts tension on the brake lane. So I'm going to put this one back. I lubricated this slider already, so I'm going to put it back, tighten it, and then take this one off and then flip it up so I can put the other pad in, because it's kind of hard to put the other pad in because I can't flip it far enough. Okay, so just like this, you can see I flipped it up. It moves very far, good enough. So on this one, on the inside, it has one of those clips. When it's worn out, it's on the edge there, right on this right here, you'll see a little clip on the inside of the pad. So you just take it off the old one and put it on a new one. And I like to swap the hardware, the back plates, to the new. You don't have to, but I like to do it because it has the one with cutouts. So I think it has something to do with heat, reducing heat wear or something like that. But yeah, there's this one stainless steel, and underneath that, oh man, you see right there, there's cuts. So I think they designed it like that for something. I'm sure it does something. So I like to swap them if they fit, obviously. But yeah, you insert the top part of the pad and then insert the bottom. It's pretty easy. So now I'm just gonna take this other slider out and then lubricate it and then put it back together and take it out. Here, let me maybe I can show it to you. Let me see, just like that. And just kind of, if you can, just grab the rubber and kind of try to pull it back, just like that right there. You see, it's barely any lubrication. I use this. This is marine grease. It's like waterproof grease. You don't have to use it. I got this. We use it for our quads. This is one of the best greases out there, but you can get just regular grease, whichever one works for you. I'll probably link in the description. I'll put a link to the rotors and pads that I got, ceramic pads, and then the grease and all the tools I use. I'll put in the description to it, like Amazon, eBay links, so you guys can look in the description of this video. Okay, I'll post this torque specs in the description because I don't know from the top of my head what the bracket, what the bracket to the knuckle, what the torque spec that bolt is, and then this bolt. There's not much torque on this one. This one's gonna be a little more, but actually, is that the torque? No, they're not. Never mind. For some reason I thought that was the torque spec, but it's not. So anyways, I'll post the torque specs for both of those bolts. This one's gonna be the smaller one. But yeah, before I put the pads in, I forgot I sprayed them with brake cleaner, and then before I assemble the wheel and all that stuff, and I'm gonna torque it, I'm gonna spray it with brake clean, the rotor, just kind of give it, because it's probably gonna be some grease on there or something, you know, so you wanted to spray it, and then kind of where the pads are too, just kind of what you can, just like that. And now I'm going to torque everything in, and like I said, all the torque specs are going to be in the description below of this video. One thing I forgot to tell you guys, before you guys install this rotor, they put some lubricant in the bag to make sure it doesn't rust. So you want to wash that off with brake cleaner before you install it, because you will have squeaky brakes if you don't. And then yeah, so now you just, this one is stuck, the other one just came off. If you're a rotor, when you take wheel off or to take the bracket off, if it doesn't come off, just smack it with the hammer. That's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so I got it assembled all together. Like I said, I'm going to put the torque specs in the description, but these are 76 foot-pounds. And that, ladies and gentlemen, how you do a front brakes on the pads and rotors on the Scion XD. Any years is going to be the same. If you guys have any questions or comments, comment in the comments below. I'll do my best to reply to them. But like I said, the torque specs, I'll post them in the description below, and I'll post the links to the tools that I used on Amazon or eBay. Wherever I find them, I'll post the links in the description so you guys can purchase them or look at the tools that I used. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and as usual, see you next time.